Here's an update on the custom 55 Chevy truck that we're doing. I showed in the other video where I had modified this fender to make it fit the hood. If you remember, the fender sat kind of high and I had to cut it and lower it down to make it fit the hood. So I'm doing a real good fitment on all the pieces that make up the whole front end: the grill, the filler pieces, the hood, fenders obviously. And what I've run into, I had the same kind of problem with this fender on the passenger side, where it sat too high and I couldn't make it meet the hood properly. So I cut it again on the inside like I did on the driver's side, lowered it down. But then the bigger issue I had was a big gap between the hood and the fender. So I actually split the fender here and let it roll in towards the hood. And what I'll do is I'll make a filler to go in between these two and weld that back together, and then I'll adjust it as needed by taking a screwdriver and putting it in and adjusting my gap wherever I feel like it's a little bit tight. But this is the kind of things you don't hope to run into. Obviously with aftermarket fenders and sheet metal, these can be problems. But to make it fit right, sometimes you got to be drastic and do some cutting and welding. But the end result is you have a much better looking vehicle, and this thing needs to look slick when we're done. Here's another issue I have too. The door is a little long in comparison to the fender. I've lined up the fender with the gap here, with the transition of the cowl up here, and now I'm left with this odd gap, tight gap. So I'm probably going to cut it somewhere along here and shorten the skin of the door to make it fit better. And then I also have the issue of this fitment, just like it did on the driver's side, and I'll probably split the fender and roll it up and then make a filler so that this shape matches the door closer. Just a lot of custom work you have to do for these trucks and make them look right. So that's what we're here for. Here it is with the cuts that I made, as I was showing you earlier. I did split it open here, and I rolled this up and out, and now you can see the transition from fender to door is really close. I also made the cut here that I talked about, pushed this flange back a little bit and re-welded it. Working on the same thing right here. You can kind of see there's a cut. I wanted to stretch that back, or push that back a little bit and make it fit, and I've welded on some material down there that I'll blend later. And then I've also done the repair work on this fender and gotten my gap to where I want it. Just welded it back together. I didn't make a filler strip, I just kept tacking it and filled it in. So now it looks really good and I'm happy with it. Stay tuned.